Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to First Church of Religious Science. Welcome to our self-healing class. Whether you're joining us live on Zoom or catching a replay later on Insta, X, Facebook, or YouTube, I'm glad you found your way here. This gathering, this space is for healing, for releasing old stories, and for remembering who you truly are, and for letting something gentle and powerful move through you. Every week, our church community offers 3 transformational groups. Wednesdays, we have our creative living gathering hosted by Reverend James. It's filled with practical spiritual tools to help you live your life with more clarity and joy. And here we are Thursdays, which is our long-standing Louise self-healing gathering, where we explore deep emotional healing, our inner dialogue, self-love, and transformation. Sunday mornings, again, same Zoom links for everything we do. We start with the meditation at 10:45, and this is Eastern Standard Time. And then we have our weekly message, which starts at approximately 11 a.m. All of these groups, gatherings are open to everyone, always free of charge, and supported entirely by love offerings. If our work touches you, we invite you to help us by going to YouTube and subscribing, liking, and sharing if you can. Only do this if it feels joyful and only if it comes from the heart. So let's begin. Let's start by taking a breath and another, and let's settle in to wherever we are, and let this day or this afternoon or evening, wherever you are, be a sacred turning point. Today's message is called Unveiling Your Divine Spirit. Unveiling your divine spirit and trusting the infinite you. Louise once said, deep at the center of your being is this infinite, incredible power of love and light. So we want to unveil that. We want to learn to trust it. Maybe you're here today or listening, whenever you're listening this week, because something in you is ready to shift, ready to unfold. Maybe your heart is longing for something deeper, something more. Maybe you're just tired of holding back, or possibly maybe you simply wanted to be in a space where there's like-minded people reaching for more. Whatever it is that brought you here, one thing's for certain: there is a divine spark that is within you. You are one with the one, you'll hear me say week after week. And this spark, this divinity in you is not anything you can earn. It's nothing you can lose. It's already within you. It's already whole. You are already worthy. You are already powerful in ways you can't possibly understand. And yet, knowing all this, we still have moments when we forget it. Moments where we feel too small to speak up for ourselves, too unsure to take the next step. Sometimes we're paralyzed with fear. Sometimes we're burdened, too burdened to believe in ourselves. But the truth is always that spark, that divinity, that essence, that incredible creative intelligence has never left you, not for a moment, not once. It's always here now. It's already within you, steady, quiet, and ever ready. So today is about remembering all of that, trusting in this divine spark, trusting that divine spark is in you, operating through you, responding to you all the time. So this evening, we ask you to stop waiting for someone else to tell you who you are. Let yourself say it to yourself. Say that I am one with the one. I'm one with the creative energy of life. I'm one with the stars. I'm one with everyone. Know that there is this divine energy that's in you, in everyone, all at once. And as we trust this divine spark more and more, and we stop waiting for anyone else to tell us how great we are. When we do this more and more, when we get centered in this, what I'll call God awareness, you're going to stop giving fear the final word. You're going to be edging it right out of the picture. You're going to stop believing that healing lives somewhere outside of you. Louise Hay once said, all healing is self-healing. So here's the thing to remember. You are already connected to something infinite. You're already connected to this one power, this one love, this one light. You could say, I am a point of power within the mind of God. I am the point of love within the heart of God. As Ralph Waldo Emerson said years ago, it's time to clear the divine circuits. It's time to clear the divine circuits of fear, of guilt, shame. Yes, let's clear those circuits and let the truth of who you are come through. He also said something that wasn't quite nice. He said, you want to get all that bloated nothingness out of the way of the divinity, the divine circuits. So you're all about divine circuitry. And it's time, once again, to clear the divine circuits of fear, guilt, shame, and anything like it. So again, I'm saying it twice now, so you can let the truth of who you are come through and shine. Our own Ernest Holmes, our founder, wrote years ago, there is a power for good in the universe, and you can use it. See, you're always using this power, and you're usually using it, hopefully, constructively, but sometimes we use it destructively. Louise Hay reminds us, self-love is the foundation for real healing. She would go on to say, when you really love yourself, everything begins to work, because when you really love yourself, you're taking better care of yourself in every way. From the food you eat to the way you think, to how you interact with others. When you really love yourself, everything starts to shape up, and you will then know that all is well. So again, she's saying self-love is the foundation for everything, for real healing. She'd also say, never, never, never criticize yourself. And she would tell you, you've been doing it for a long time, long enough, too long, right? And then A Course in Miracles gently offers this. I'll paraphrase it tonight. It takes great wisdom to understand that all events are helpful. And there's a longer quote that goes with that. But the idea is, everything that's happened to you up until now has brought you to this place of being this beautiful spiritual being now that you are, with so much understanding. So you've grown. So please, you never want to beat yourself up for your path, because your path has brought you to the place where you are right now. So in this world that's full of noise, uncertainty, sometimes it seems chaotic, what if your greatest power isn't figuring it all out? What if your greatest power is in trusting the quiet knowing within you, trusting the process of life within you? What if your next great breakthrough isn't something to achieve? Maybe your next great breakthrough is something to remember. Now let me bring you forward to Walt Whitman today, who wrote, I am larger, I am better than I thought. I did not know I held so much goodness. That's a beautiful couple lines. I'll say it again from Walt Whitman. He said, I am larger and I'm better than I thought. I did not know I held so much goodness. I wish you could embrace that idea, because I think some of you are starting to realize that you're much better than what you thought you knew. And then the more you start to realize that this God that you've been looking for, that everyone has looked for throughout history, is in you, operating through you. And then we can say, like Whitman, I did not know I held so much goodness, so much beauty, so much intelligence. That's not poetry. That's a mirror. That's your divine spark. Again, not a distant concept. It's the truth, really, of who you are. And so in this class, this gathering tonight, we begin to trust it even more. We talk about trusting the process of life. We trust it more deeply than ever. So let's proceed. To truly trust your divine spark, you must first learn to take that pause, to be quiet a little, quiet yourself down so you can listen. Not with your ears, but listen with your whole being, because you can sense it. When Louise would talk about deep in the center of your being, she's asking you to take the pause that we talk about and reflect and listen, because there's a still small voice. There's a knowing within you. It isn't loud. It doesn't shout. It whispers. It comes at us in different moments. And often it speaks between our thoughts. It's kind of like that out of the blue. There it is. It speaks beneath our fears. It speaks beyond the noise. Have you ever had a moment where something inside of you it clicked? You just knew. Something came to you. You knew. And then you had an urge to do something, perhaps pick up the phone, or you wanted to write something down because something came to you. An awareness, a sense. Then maybe it was just a sense to pause. Something came to you and thought, man, wait a minute, I need to slow down here. You had a quiet pull toward a new path or a new way of doing something. When these types of things happen, we can call that our inner guidance. That's the spark within you that's saying something to you. It's saying, look, I know the way, so hold on, I know the way. And you know that you know. But see, we've been conditioned to doubt that. I mean, you're a part of life. You have direct access to source. So we want to become a little bit more reliant on those moments because they're always there for us. We become conditioned to doubt our intuition, our knowing. We overthink it. We overanalyze it sometimes. And a lot of people believe the answers are out there somewhere. So we're looking anywhere but where we ought to be looking, because everything you're looking for is within you. I've looked in books, to gurus, to experts, and the very thing I was looking for, even though there can be wisdom found in those places, but the truest wisdom is found within you. From Psalms, which I rarely quote, but this one I quote, be still and know, right? Be still and know that you are the thing you're looking for. Be still and know that you are God. Be still and know that you are a part of this incredible intelligence that's in you, informing you. And when you slow down, when you take that pause just long enough to notice, you're going to start to sense it and feel it. You're going to feel a presence that's always there. Emerson would say it's wooing you. Sometimes it can be noisy. I mean, it's just and you know that you really, there's something that it's trying to get your attention. And increasingly, as you live the affirmative life, you're going to sense it and you're going to feel it. And you're going to know that it's always with you. Some of you call it spirit. Some of you call it higher self, higher power. A few of you call it God, the universe, source, love, energy. And it doesn't matter what name you use. What matters is that you recognize it and you begin to rely on it and invite it into your awareness. Because when you do, you're going to rebuild a sacred trust. My dad always said, spirit won't be the uninvited guest. So when you begin to rely on it and recognize it, you're going to bring it into your awareness and you're going to build this sacred trust. So this evening, again, you're invited to practice something radical. And it's very simple. Pause. In the 12-step programs, they used to say, act, don't react. And what would be better if they said pause, then act, don't react. So we're asking you tonight, we're inviting you to practice something radical. Take a moment and pause before you act. Breathe before you speak. Check in with yourself before you check out. It's really easy to say, I have nothing to do with this, I'm going to check out. But I'm asking you to do something different. Take that pause, and if there's something you need to know, create the space for it to come through. Ask yourself right now, after you've taken the pause, right? What is my heart? What's my inner self trying to say to me right now? What information is it trying to give me? Or how about this one? What truth have I been avoiding? You take a pause. What truth, what thing have I been avoiding? Or after another pause, where is the spark guiding me? What's mine to do? What's mine to know? And you can write these things down. And I used to do another one for many, many years. I would say, well, what's the most self-loving thing to do right now? And I promise you get an answer, and it's going to be the right answer. It's just when you start to rationalize it, then it's, but if you pay attention to that voice, what is my heart trying to tell me? What's the most self-loving thing I can do? What truth have I been avoiding? It comes to you right away. Where is the spark guiding me? You'll get information. It's very valuable information. So you can write these questions down, and when you get the answers, definitely write them down, because what happens is we have a tendency to not follow our own inner knowing. So here's the thing to do. Listen, because the more you listen and ask those kind of questions of yourself, the louder love comes forth. The moment, this is from Goethe, I can't say his name properly. The moment you begin to trust yourself, you begin to live. So many of our lessons are involved. We go right back to Socrates, to know yourself, to trust yourself. Goethe is saying, the moment you begin to trust yourself, then you begin to live, because that's where your connection is. Your connection with your inner self is your connection with the universe, is your connection with Source. Because once you've quieted the noise and you've heard the whisper of the divine spark, what comes to you next is sacred. And it's often a little bit scary, because then there's action, because then you have direction. And it's not frantic action. It's not people-pleasing action. It's not perfection-chasing action, but it's soul-guided action. So we take these moments of pause and we ask questions like this: what's mine to do? And what's the most self-loving thing I can do? And you're going to be given information. Now, whether you act on it or not is another question. But this action, if you act on it, is action that emerges from you being in alignment, not from you being obligated. But there's that part of you that knows, and you know that you know. So it's from intuition that you act, not insecurity. It's from love that you act, not lack. And this right here is where many people hesitate. Then they second guess themselves, because they know what's been revealed to them and they don't want to act. They stall. They want to wait for a sign, and then they want to wait for another sign. And then they want a confirmation of the first two signs, because maybe they're uncomfortable taking that next beautiful act. But the truth is, once that spark speaks to you, there's a teacher who I used to have, Dr. Bill, who will say, you know and you know that you know. And even when you know and you know that you know, softly, there's a resistance oftentimes, because this voice doesn't shout at you. It won't argue with you. It will simply point the way. Now, whether you take the way it's pointing is a whole different thing. And the longer we delay taking the action, the harder it can be to hear it again, because sometimes we drown it out. Not because the spark is gone, because this eternal thing inside of you, deep at the center of your being, is never going to go away. It's always there with you. Again, so it isn't that this spark leaves. It's because we begin to doubt, or we doubt ourselves. We stop trusting that part of us that absolutely knows. So if we want to be 100% honest with ourselves, we've all had these moments where we know what to do, where we know exactly what to do, and we haven't done it. We knew, and we knew that we knew, but maybe we were afraid of letting someone else down, or maybe we were scared to step into that kind of light or that kind of power. Maybe we believed we weren't ready. Maybe we didn't want to fail. But every time you abandon your inner knowing or your inner voice, you're chipping away at something beautiful, which is your sacred trust and confidence in yourself. And every single time you act on that inner whisper, you strengthen your connection. So tonight, I'm asking important questions. I'm inviting you to take just one courageous step towards trusting that spark, and ask yourself, what's one small thing step I can take today to honor my truth? What one thing can I do today? Because we're not going to do it all at once. In affirmative prayer, when we teach it, we used to teach people to do affirmative prayer for simple things like parking spaces. The reason being is once you start to see the demonstration of how this can work, you're going to build faith in it. So back to our subject for this evening, what one small action can I take to honor my truth? What would it look like right now in this moment to trust myself more? Now, this doesn't have to be anything dramatic, as I said. It could be just a phone call or taking a pause or saying gently no where you usually say yes, or maybe bravely saying yes where you oftentimes won't say yes. Even choosing to rest when your body is tired is sacred action. See, here's from Dr. Martin Luther King. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. When you're trusting Spirit, you trust Spirit. You don't have to see where it's all going. You just do the next right thing. The spark doesn't need you to be fearless. It simply asks for you to be a little bit more willing to listen, and then willing to move, willing to trust, as Louise would say, the process of life. Because when you take a single step in faith, then life is going to rush and meet you. Doors will open, energy begins to shift. You've aligned with something deeper, something much deeper, and something already working in your behalf. That's the nature of miracles. So tonight, friends, don't just listen to that inner spark. Follow it. It may lead you sometimes through a little bit of discomfort. That's true. But it will never lead you into despair. It leads you always towards freedom. It leads you towards healing, towards the full, beautiful expression of the infinite you. So let yourself be guided. Spirit is wooing you. Let it woo you and follow it. Let yourself begin again. Let yourself trust in your own unfolding. Let yourself know that life is unfolding perfectly in you and through you and for you, even when it feels unfamiliar. And maybe right now you don't feel 100% ready. Maybe in your mind is still spinning with reasons why this can't work. Or you might be telling yourself, it's too late, I can't, I'm too tired, I've tried this before, or I'm too far gone. But what if none of these stories are true? Because they're not. What if the voice of doubt is just the voice of these wounded parts of ourselves? Because we've been through a lot. The parts that have been disappointed so many times before. The parts of us that have hoped and we've fallen short. The parts of us have longed to be seen and we weren't. You see, that voice inside of you isn't your enemy. It's not trying to hurt you. It's just trying to protect you the only way it knows how. What it needs, most of all, is you. It needs your love. It needs your presence. It needs your gentle reassurance that says, I see you, and I'm still going forward. Because healing doesn't wait for us to be perfect. Healing begins when we feel broken. And healing begins when we feel broken and we say yes anyway. That's when the universe will rush in. That's when the spark starts to become a flame, because that's when you remember who and what you are. And you don't have to do this alone. You never did. This creative life, this creative intelligence, this presence we call spirit, we call it source, we call it love, we call it life itself. It's been with us all along. You came into this wonderful world, one with the one, and you're still one with the one. And it's here and it's always guiding you. It always has your back. And it's always encouraging the very best in you to rise. So if all you can do this evening is take a breath and whisper, I'm open, I'm receptive, and I'm open. Or some version of that, I'm open and receptive. That's enough. That's enough to begin by saying, I'm open, because you've responded to the invitation. And there's no limit to what can unfold from here. So let's build on that idea. I'm open to love, I'm open to life, I'm open to spirit. Let's build on that with our breath. Breathe that in, I'm open, I am receptive, and let's speak directly to that inner place that's responding, that hears you always. Not the voice of fear, but that deep inner voice of truth where you're most connected. The voice that says, I'm willing to grow. I'm willing to change. I'm willing to heal. Even if I don't know how, I'm open. Even if I still have doubts, I'm open. And I can choose a new thought now because every thought carries power. Every word I speak is a seed. And I'm ready to plant something new right now, something kinder, something clearer, something truer. So say with me, silently or loud, let these words settle in deep inside. Say, I am safe. I am safe to heal, or I'm ready to heal. I'm safe to grow. I'm safe to grow. Or you might prefer, I'm ready to grow. I'm safe to grow. I'm safe to trust myself. I trust the process of life. I'm safe to believe in something better for myself. Another one. I'm willing to begin again, right here, right now. I'm willing to live in a new way. I'm willing to start again. I'm willing to live in a new way. See, these aren't just affirmations. What they are is they're energetic signals to life itself. And life has to respond. It always responds. Knowing that, let's take a moment or two and turn inward. And if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes if you want. But let's let our shoulders drop. Let's take a deep breath again. Just to slow down just a bit. Right here in this stillness, something sacred is already happening. You're becoming available to your own healing just by being here in this space with all of us. Just by saying yes, you've stepped into the new vibration, a vibration of yes in this now. And imagine yourself standing in that garden that we spoke of earlier. This is your garden, a space of peace, a space of possibility, a space of new growth. And you can feel the warmth of the sun. You can hear the gentle rustle of the wind in the trees. You feel supported by the earth beneath your feet. In your hand is a small pouch of seeds, each one a loving thought, each one a new belief, ready to be planted. So you kneel down and place one into the soil, and you say to yourself, I'm willing to grow. And then you place another, I'm willing to forgive myself. And another, I'm safe to receive good, great good. And as you plant these seeds, as you plant each thought, you feel something shift within. A quiet strength, a calm knowing, a confidence, a flicker of joy. This is your spark. It's been here all along. Today, this evening, you're simply remembering. And from this remembering, you begin to water your garden with love. No pressure, no need for perfection. You water your garden with love. So let's breathe in all of this now and recognize and say to yourself, I don't have to do it all tonight. I just have to be willing. So you can place your hand on your chest. You can feel your own warmth, your own presence. You can feel the presence of life within you, steady, faithful, alive. In this quiet and beautiful moment, say gently to yourself, I trust the spark of life within me. I'm guided. I am healing. I'm becoming. So let's stay here for a moment or two. Another breath. And let the truth settle in. I'm healing. I'm becoming. Let it take root. I'm guided. I'm healing. I'm becoming. And when you're ready, gently return to our space. Open your eyes. Come back to our circle. You're here. You're safe. You're loved. And your healing has already begun. You've done something powerful. You've slowed down long enough to hear that deeper part of you, to listen. You've honored the spark, that eternal presence within that has never left, that's never failed. And and that presence that's never, ever stopped loving you. Now, maybe there weren't fireworks. Maybe there was no flash of insight, and that's okay. The most meaningful shifts always begin in silence. It's like a seed tucked beneath the soil. Transformation doesn't always make noise. It simply grows. It grows every time you speak kindly to yourself. Never, never, never criticize yourself, because this transformation occurs every time you speak kindly to yourself. It grows when you choose a healing thought over a fearful one. It grows every time you say, I'm willing. So today, this evening, we prepare to close this part of our gathering by remembering this. The spark isn't something you earn. It is something that you are. It's not a reward, it's a reminder, and it will never, ever lead you astray. It may lead you to truth, it may lead you to temporary discomfort, but always, always, it brings you towards freedom, towards healing, and into the infinite you. So let's seal this evening with a few words of affirmation. And here we are. Right here, right now, I claim my connection to the infinite wisdom within me. I release the need to figure everything out. I release the belief that I have to do it all alone. There is a presence guiding me now. It knows the way. It lives within me, and I trust it. I trust the next step, and I trust the unfolding. I trust the spark of life within me. This evening, I remember I am more than my past, more than my pain, more than my doubts. I am life itself waking up, and I'm willing to grow. I'm willing to shine. I'm willing to become everything I've ever meant to be. I walk forward now in grace, in power, and in deep, unshakable love. And so it is, and so I let it be. So now we shift. Thank you. And so now we shift our cameras over to you. We invite you to stay with us and share your thoughts. If you're new, please say hello, speak, share your truth, be part of this beautiful circle. If something touched you tonight, or something stirring within you, you're not alone. I would love to hear from you. If you're new here, again, welcome, say hello. If you're not receiving our messages yet, you're listening later, send us a private message or an email to First Church and your contact information. That way we can include you in our weekly email and keep you in the loop. So now we're turning the cameras over to you, and you can share on any of these subjects or what it's been like being you this week. Thank you.